Good morning, all of you. Hope all are doing fine. We have learned up to past continuous tense in the previous class. So, we'll be continuing with past perfect tense in this class. After this chapter gets over, we will discuss something important. So, first you have a pen and a copy open in front of you and have the book. Okay? Whoever don't have the book, doesn't matter, they can download. So let us begin. Past perfect tense. See, this tense is very interesting. The past perfect tense used to talk about an action that had happened before another event happened in the past. So it is basically the past in past. So see, suppose two actions took place and past perfect tense will be applicable for the one what had happened before another past event happened. So it is the past in the past. So let us have an example so that this idea will get cleared. Salim had started the car by the time Meena came with the bag. So see, two actions as we can see. Salim had started the car 1. Meena came with the bag 2. So what happened? Which action took place beforehand? Obviously Salim had started. So in between these two past actions, whichever action took place earlier will be applicable for past perfect tense and the another one will be for past simple past or past indefinite tense. So Salim had started the car by the time Meena came with the bag. So Meena came later. First Samir had started. Now what is the structure? Obviously it will be quite same as present perfect. We will use in place of have or has, we will use only had. So first the subject, then had, then the past participle form of the base verb. Okay. Another is the smugglers had already cut the tree before the forest guards arrived. So the smugglers, they had already cut the tree. So this action happened earlier. Then before the forest guards arrived. So they also arrived, the trees are also cut. Okay, but the trees are cut beforehand. That is why we will apply past perfect tense for this first one. Now we are asked to complete an exercise. Exercise G. Complete the following sentences using past perfect forms of the verb in the brackets. So we need to write the past perfect form in the bracket. Okay. So we will be doing this using the structure of past perfect tense. Okay. So Shumesh dashed for home before his parcel arrived. So within bracket it's written leave. So Shumesh had left for home before his parcel arrived. So this action took place earlier. Suresh had left for home, then the parcel arrived. So we will be using past perfect tense for this first one, and the second one will be using will be done using past simple past or past indefinite tense. Ansari's cat had killed the pigeon before we saw it. Yesterday we again saw the man who had sold us his bicycle. After everyone had given their speeches, dinner was served. I had forgot to lock the room before I went out. Amar had pulled the trigger before Nazima could stop him. They shifted to the place where they lived earlier. The guide took us to a godown where 100 shoal soldiers had hid during the war. Ankit showed us the video he had shot at the fair. Vineet decided to buy the picture book which he had seen on a website. Okay. So now we will learn how to make this past perfect sentences into negative and interrogative ones. So we will add not after had and then the rest. So we had not done this job. Okay. And question mark, if we want to make it a question, then we will we have to have the had in the very beginning of the sentence, then the subject, then the rest part. Had I done the job or had I done the work? Had Salim started the car by the time Meena came with the bag? Okay, so had first, then the subject, then the past participle form of the base verb, then the rest. Okay, so here H, exercise H, correct and rewrite the following sentences using the correct form of the past tense. So here sentences are given, but we need to find out the incorrect one and we need to make those correct eventually. So the train started to move before all the passengers had got in. See, the train started to move. First the train started to move, then the passengers had got in. So you just tell me what will be the answer. As we told you, it will be the past in the past. So the train had started to move before all the passengers got in. Before the train has started earlier, then the passengers came. So we will be making that past perfect, then simple past for the rest part of the sentence. Yesterday Sumit had showed me the camera he bought in Dubai. Yesterday Sumit showed me the camera he had bought in Dubai. First he bought, then he showed. In the news I had seen the building which the missile hit. In the news I saw the building which the missile had hit. I asked Pradeep if he took my binoculars. I asked Pradeep if he had taken my binoculars. Ramesh and Seema had not attended the meeting to which they were invited. Ramesh and Seema did not attend the meeting to which they had invited. Our team had visited the school where one of our presidents studied. Our team visited the school where one of our presidents had studied. The soldiers had entered the ship which the pirates hijacked. The soldiers entered the ship which the pirates had hijacked. The man whom the police caught had escaped. The man whom the police caught had escaped. The man whom the police had caught escaped. Now make sentences in the past perfect using the verbs given below. As you can see, there is a group of verbs given here. You need to make this present perfect and you need to make a sentence using the past perfect tense. So this is up to you. I am not going to make sentences for you. This is your homework. You can do on your own. Now we will proceed to past perfect continuous. See, past perfect continuous tense is used to describe an activity or a situation that began before the time we were talking about in the past. So, let us have an example. Alina had been singing when he heard a loud noise. So, we are mentioning here when she heard a loud noise. From this time, she had been doing some other work. So, let us remind the definition once again. The past perfect continuous tense is used to describe an activity or situation that began before the time we were talking about in the past. So, two actions, okay, but one of the actions had started beforehand than the another one, okay. So the children had been walking to the garden when Santa Claus appeared in front of them. The children had been walking in the garden when Santa Claus appeared in front of them. So when Santa Claus appeared, they had been walking beforehand. So they had been walking before the time we were talking about in the past. So Santa Claus appeared in front of them, yes, but before that they had started working, okay. So here we will be using past perfect continuous tense for the first action and the past only simple past tense or past indefinite tense for the rest part of the sentence or the second part of the sentence. Now, complete the following sentences using appropriate clauses with past perfect continuous verb forms. The main verbs are given. So, as we can see, the first part of the sentence is given and we need to complete the rest part by using the verb given within the bracket here. So, we can make a clause of our own choice. So, it's not mandatory, you have to write whatever I am telling. Santosh looked all drenched because dash play within brackets. So what would we write? As we know the structure. What is the structure? First the subject, then had, then been, then we will be adding ing with the base form of the verb. I had been doing. Okay, before I heard the noise. So I had been painting before I heard the noise, like that. So Santosh looked all drenched because he had been playing in the rain. Easy. When Arvind won his first prize for poetry, within brackets right is given. So how we can make a question out of it, a sentence out of it. When Arvind won his first prize for poetry, he had been writing his volume consisting many poems. Okay. Third, dash when her mother asked her to start studying. Within bracket watch is given. So he had been watching television when her mother asked her to start studying. Nandana finally killed the wasp that dash in bracket pester. Nandana finally killed the wasp that had been pestering above his head. I used an empty bottle dash lie. I used an empty bottle that had been lying in the garbage. When Hasim came to Bengaluru dash carry. When Hasim came to Bengaluru, we had been carrying a big burden on our shoulder. When I entered the room, Suman put away dash. When I entered the room, Suman put away dash read is given. So a dash within bracket it's read. When I entered the room, Suman put away whatever he had been reading. Dash when the officer entered. The man had been sleeping when the officer entered. The until the dam was built, dash experience. Until the dam was built, we had been experiencing a lot of problems. Now negative and question. How we can make this past continuous sentences into negatives and questions. So, as we know, we will be using the negative word that is not after had. First comes the subject, then had, then not, then been, then the verb along with ing. Okay. So, for an example, Alina had not been arranging the flowers when she heard a noise. And if we want to make it a question, how do we write it? First comes had, then subject, then been, then the verb with ing, and then the rest. Had Alina been arranging the flowers when she heard the noise? Then question mark. Easy? So we will be solving this last exercise, that is exercise K. Given below are the responses to some questions in the past perfect continuous. Rewrite the positive responses as negative and negative responses as positive. Then write the questions in the past perfect continuous to which they answer. So first certain answers are given. So the negative ones we need to convert into positive, and the positive ones we need to convert into negative, and for every answer we need to make a question following the past perfect continuous tense. It's very easy. No, I had not been sleeping when the explosion occurred. So I had not been sleeping. No. So negative word, negative sentence this is. We need to make it positive. So we will be just removing the negative words. So instead of no, we will write yes. Yes, I had been sleeping when the explosion occurred. Not, we will not write not. Yes, Tanisha had been working on her project on that day. So we need to make it negative. No, Tanisha had not been working on a project on that day. Kiran's friends had been riding the big wheel when she joined them. Kiran's friends had not been riding. Ankur Nath had been walking in the field when he saw a strange light in the bush. Ankur Nath had not been working. Arundhati's cat had been digging mud when it spotted the old bangle. Arundhati's cat had not been digging the mud. Tahir had been studying Latin in Rome before he moved to Budapest. So Tahir had not been studying Latin in Rome before he moved to Budapest. The policeman had been waiting in the car until the gang appeared before the bank. The policeman had not been waiting. Two of us had been eating our lunch when the alarm went off. Two of us had not been eating our lunch when the alarm went off. So now we need to make the question against each answer. No, I had not been sleeping when the explosion occurred. So had you been sleeping when the explosion occurred? Question mark. Next, yes, Tanisha had been working on her project on that day. Had Tanisha been working on a project on that day? Third, Kiran's friends had been riding the big wheel when she joined them. Had Kiran's friends been riding the big wheel when she joined them? Question mark. Ankur Nath had been walking in the field when he saw a strange light in the bush. Had Ankur Nath been walking in the field when he saw a strange light in the bush? Arundhati's cat had been digging mud when it spotted the old bangle. Had Arundhati's cat been digging mud when it spotted the old bangle? Tahir had been studying Latin in Rome before he moved to Budapest. Had Tahir been studying Latin? Then rest. The policeman had been waiting in the car, and so had the policeman been waiting in the car until the gang appeared before the bank? Question mark. Had two of us been eating our lunch when the alarm went off? Question mark. So here ends the exercise. It's very easy to solve. You can do on your own. If you have any difficulty, you can have the answers as well. Yes, in the previous class I told this about the syllabus of unit test: nouns, number, pronouns, adjective, and the sentence, not article. By mistake I told that. So these are already done. How will the questions come? May the question comes. So you may be asked one line answer also. For example, let us have the sentence chapter opened in front of us. So what is a sentence? It is a question, right? So a sentence is a group of words that makes a complete sense. So you are asked in the examination that write the true and false against each statement. Okay. So and the question comes, a sentence is a group of words that makes no sense. Is it correct? No, this is incorrect. So we'll be writing here false. So for this, by this example, you can understand how the questions may come. So you have to read the grammar book thoroughly, leaving nothing. All the definitions, all the examples, all the exercises are done in the class. Okay. So you may be given any statement and you are asked to write true false against that. You are asked to fill in the blank. Okay, sometimes you may be given options and you are asked to choose the correct one, and composition letter also there. So you need to know the rule of friendly letter, as friendly letter is there in your syllabus. So you know the rule. Okay, if you forget anything, you can go to that class video available on YouTube. So you can find there the rule is well defined there. So the rule you read well, you practice well. You may be asked on that basis also writing the rule of the letter, and you may be asked to correct whether this statement is true or false. Okay, so composition also, comprehension may come. As you know, we have done one comprehension. We will be doing another very soon. So comprehension also may come. So just get prepared in all the way possible. Okay, just leaving nothing, because this exam is going to be based on your accurate detailing that you acquired after reading this chapters. It's not like you just read it once and went on doing the exercises and you are done. No, it's not like that. You need to read everything in detail, starting from definition to the example to the exercise. Not only we are talking about grammar, but letter, comprehension and composition. So we all know, yes, we have a lot of study to perform, and I know you all will do that. In the next class, we will have a revision test. Okay, maybe that can be an oral test, that can be a written test. Okay, that is up to me, whatever type I'll give. I have not decided yet, but you please be prepared, because you will have 1 week in your hand. This rest, we don't have any grammar class in this week. So after completing this past tense, you will go on revising all the chapters. And if you find any difficulty, please do write to me. I'll be solving every query of yours. Okay. So this much for today's class. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, do study well. Have a great day ahead.